take advantage of it for you, take advantage of it for your children, and take advantage of it for any other family member that may benefit. Because in the end, when I leave here, I'm leaving the institution behind, but my family's going along with me.
Think of yourself first and foremost, and think about the effect that you're going to have on your children later on down the road, and you'll see that giving yourself this opportunity, this chance, is going to benefit your whole family.
Be open to change, because all they're doing is trying to see what you need to succeed.
Good afternoon, community. I'm Captain Staus. The goal of the department is to actually produce a better citizen upon reentry to society. And the best way to do that is give them some tools and some skills to help them reenter society and help them to deal with their personal issues, whether it's to give a trade, an education, help with substance abuse, anger management, family relations. We have many options for them.
It all starts with assessment. This is a very important tool that the department can use to give you the services that you need so that when you leave prison, you will not return.
Going through the assessment let me know kind of some of the things I might need to work on, and I realized there was a benefit in actually going through it and learning more about myself, and then they started putting me in the right place.
An assessment is valuable and necessary for every individual incarcerated, because they obviously wouldn't be here if they didn't have specific needs. And now that they're here, I think we need to give them the best programming to help them to be successful upon release. And it goes for men and women, and it goes for all ages.
The Department of Corrections and Rehabilitation does not want you to return to prison after your release. We want to ensure we provide you with programs specific to your individual needs to help you be successful. The assessment provides basic information we need to place you in programs that will help you meet these goals. The assessment is a list of questions which assess your past history and present needs, including substance abuse, education, employment, anger management, criminal thinking, and family relationships. The assessment is required, and your correctional counselor will work through the assessment with you.
I'll print out the assessment so the inmate can look at it and see what he's going to be doing. Prior to that, I do let him know that it's required that he needs to do that. I read the question to them as they follow along with me, and then I input the information as they tell me the answer. And I tell them, put forth the effort to be as truthful as possible. In the long run, it's going to benefit you, and stress that. And just keep saying, hey, it's not going to take a lot of your time, and just sit down and, just try to knock this thing out.
The purpose of the assessment is to make sure you're placed in educational, career technical education, and rehabilitative programs that will meet your needs. It is a requirement that you take the assessment and honestly answer all questions. Most of the questions on the assessment are the same for men and women. There are additional questions for female offenders which identify needs specific to them. Your answers are in a system that makes the determination of needs based on answers to combinations of the questions and are not stored elsewhere in CDCR. Your answers will not get you, your family members, or your friends into trouble.
It's a great tool. It's very informative. It prints us a graph that we can identify as far as a program placement or educational placement.
In talking with the counselor I had, he encouraged me, you know what, increase your education. I had a high school diploma, but that was it. So they offered college classes here at Solano. So I started taking college classes, and I graduated with honors with an AA degree.
Completed my GED, graduated landscape maintenance, and then I was placed in SAP. My word is repetition. And my thought for that is repetition is the mother of knowledge. If you do something enough, it becomes habit. So let's continue to do positive things so positive things can happen for us.
SAP, a lot of success stories with that. When we identify that this inmate has a problem with alcohol or substance abuse, we put them into the program, the SAP program.
I've been certified as an alcohol and drug counselor. I've been offered a managing job at a halfway house, a sober living environment, and there's several residential programs in my community that are ready and willing to accept me on board for a job.
I waited for at least 3 years before I can get into a vocational program. And with the motorcycle repair, I started working on like Harley Davidsons, Honda motorcycles. So that really got me excited about trying to learn because it was something new that I hadn't learned before.
There's wonderful opportunities. They have carpentry, metal fab. There's a lens lab program here as well where they actually produce glasses for lens crafters and whatnot, and for the actual, the general population here as well.
CDCR is continually expanding our rehabilitative programs. Ask your correctional counselor for available programs that meet your individual needs.
I've been in prison for 17 years, but I do have confidence in so many ways. It's not just about who I am now, but I have tons of support as well, and I also have the skills that they've helped me with. As far as preparing me for a KDAG test and being a counselor, now I can find a job. I mean, a bona fide job, and I don't take that lightly.
I was 19 years old when I got arrested, and they gave me 20 years. So now I'm 36. Before I didn't have any job skills. Now I have multiple job skills, which is welding. I can work on motorcycles. I can be a drug and alcohol counselor. So now I have many options instead of just none like before.
It's a beautiful thing when you learn and continue to learn and you feel secure in your future. But they can't get that and place you where you need to be placed if you don't get that assessment.
It's important to understand that some offenders are not eligible to take the assessment. Offenders in the mental health services delivery system at the enhanced outpatient level of care or higher. Offenders classified as condemned. Offenders sentenced to a term of life without the possibility of parole. Offenders who are identified by the California Static Risk Assessment as having a low risk of returning to prison. Offenders who are physically housed in a conservation camp, modified community correctional facility, or in California out-of-state correctional facilities. Offenders sentenced to life terms are not required to complete an assessment, but they may wish to do so if they want to participate in rehabilitative programming.
Whatever motivation you need, whatever it takes, go after it, seek it, get it, and sometimes you may face those roadblocks, overcome them, and just do it for yourself.
I hope that we'll get successful assessments, honest assessments, accurate assessments that will allow us to provide the programming that each individual needs and deserves.
CDCR is making a commitment to provide programs that can help you. But you must take the first positive steps toward change. By participating in the assessment, you increase your chances of creating a better life for yourself and your family.